So as you got to become a practicing physician, what kind of shaped your perspectives on helping patients and dealing with cardiovascular issues? What were some of your knowledge and what types of things did you impart on your patients?
I give a lot of credit to my students there, gave me a lot of respect. And in my lectures, they asked very good questions. Then my patients, I have been polite. And patients like that. And I used to make sure that I am punctual. Whatever time I give to the patients, they do not wait even a couple of minutes more than that. And exactly at that time, they come into my office. And I used to give them 1 hour to sit down and talk to me, any questions and all that. They seemed satisfied. Since it was a consultation practice, it was my authority to decide how long I'm going to spend with each patient rather than somebody else telling me, oh, you can't spend more than 20 minutes with the patient. Mm-hmm. So those are the things. I think it is interaction. You give love and you receive love. And that is what I received from my patients. Even I tell you one experience, which even today I cannot forget. I needed my driveway to be cleaned once because my regular person who used to clean during snow did not come. So I called one of my patients who had told me, if ever I get stuck, let me know. His son picked up the phone and he said, I'll be there in 15 minutes. So he came, he cleaned it and all that, and I did not receive the bill. So I called him and I said, I haven't received the bill. He said, sir, the thing is, my father has told me that you saved his life and I'm not supposed to charge you. So I said, now listen to me also. If you don't charge me in future, no matter whatever the emergency, I will hesitate to call you. So please do me a favor. And if you still want me to call you, send me the check. So send me the bill. So he sent the bill. I paid it. Then for 1 month, he didn't cash it. He thought that probably I would forget. So I called back again. And he said, oh, gee, I thought that you will forget it. I said, no, please. So he cashed it. And though after that, I didn't call him because I knew that he would not charge me. So when you get this kind of love in return, then you can't help being kinder and kinder to the patients.
Yes, those stories and, those interactions, it's things that you'll always remember, right? And it's more rewarding than anything that, yes, accolades or rewards, because it's really helping the people. And I can tell that's very important to you. Now, going on in your story career, as you got more into cardiology, I know cardiology can be a vast field like every other field, but what were some of your specialty areas, or what were you passionate about? What kinds of things were you teaching at UMass? And if you can share a little bit about that.
Sure. What I loved always was cardiac catheterization, where you put the tubes into the heart from the leg. You can do that from arm now too. You inject and you see on the screen and take movie picture of it, of coronary artery disease. I got very interested in coronary artery disease because more than 600,000 people die only in the United States due to this deadly disease. And I said that I am going to do my very best to play my part. And luckily, I got good teachers, good training, and that was my area of interest. And along the way, then I contributed through my research as well, and eventually developed a thermoelectric angioplasty catheter. But these days, the stents are being placed because they are safer and effective. So that is how it all evolved.
And thinking back to from the very beginning of your career to all the way to the end, what kinds of things have you saw, as a practitioner, anecdotally, also in the research? Has trends with coronary heart disease changed over the decades? What types of other things do we know now, maybe that we didn't know, decades prior to this? What were some of what was the evolution of the disease that you experienced through your career?
Yes. During the last 50 years, we have learned more than the previous 500 years, for example. And things started evolving in 1980s, especially when it comes to diet. It started evolving in mid 1970s. Mm-hmm. So we have learned, and because of technology, the progress has been much faster than it was anticipated. Initially, I remember we always used to be afraid when I put in cardiac catheter in the coronary artery, it is going to block the artery, and especially when I inject, there is not going to be blood. It is going to be the contrast material. What will happen to the heart? And patients used to develop cardiac arrest. And you feel bad about it. And we used to be ready, everybody. I used to look around, the technicians, nurses, everybody's on set, everybody is looking at the TV. And the moment I yell cough, we used to train the patient, don't think, just start coughing hard so that before the heart goes into arrest, it gets stimulated with cough and it comes back. They don't develop cardiac arrest. And we used to make sure we have a defibrillator ready in case it arrests. But it was a painful experience. Mm-hmm. And slowly and slowly, better catheters have developed. And so now it is much, much safer. I wouldn't worry about it. And there I can give you one example. A 27-year-old young lady was referred to me because she had chest pains. And I said, oh my God, 27-year-old, but I have to answer what the chest pains are due to. If it's coronary artery disease, something has to be done. Mm-hmm. And did the stress test. In those days, nuclear tests were not available. Mm-hmm. And stress test, if it is negative, still almost 40 to 45%, it is false negative. So mm-hmm. that really doesn't help you much. If it's positive, it helps you. Mm-hmm. But false positives can occur too. Mm-hmm. So I had no choice except to go in and do the cardiac catheterization. I prayed that morning. Mm-hmm. I went in because if something happened to her, what will I? It will be on my conscience, on my life. Mm-hmm. So I did the test went beautifully. And the first thing after that I did was I took off my gown and went to the small room, shut the door, and cried. Yeah. Just let it out and thank God. So to tell you that regarding experiences you asked, there were rough days.
Yes.
But now it's perfectly all right.
Yes. It's amazing how fast technology improves, and the amount of the capabilities that we can do now, even like from 10 years ago. I would imagine that things have gotten so much better with some of the technology advances. And it's interesting to hear what it was like, like you said, 50 years ago, because now where it is, I mean, unfortunately, right, a lot of these coronary heart disease cases are being treated with stents, like you said. And even though it's unfortunately common, I would say the success rate, and you could chime in on this, the success rate is lot more low risk. I think a lot of these things are making a big difference, not only with heart function, but just quality of life too.